Welcome to Financial Investing Radio, where you'll learn the secrets for consistent, high-probability returns in the financial markets for additional income to change your life. Grant applies consistent, high-probability trading systems for the financial markets. He's only recently started sharing these tried and true market secrets. As a gift to listeners, Grant is offering his roadmap to high-probability financial control. Go to financialinvestingradio.com and download yours today. Now, here's your host and trading veteran, Grant Larson.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about algorithms, specifically algorithms on multiple time frames. Each of us have to, pick the right stock and the right time frame when we're making our own decisions. But that's driven lots of times by our personality and our appetite for how often we want to check. So when we're looking to say, I want this stock and I want to watch and monitor it on a certain time frame, we of course have to look into our personal lives, see how things, how much time we can spend on any given trade or investment opportunity. My personal investment trading strategies range from opportunities during the day, intraday, all the way up to those that require longer term investments and monitoring that often don't require too much hand-holding. Now, the level of information in the market, as we all know, can be quite daunting, and you can spend a significant portion of your time looking at those situations. I have found myself in that category, and while I love to invest and trade, I also want to be able to do other things in life. So this led me to develop a solution that lets me see the high probability stock opportunities quickly. What I do, though, is I focus on a subset of the largest, most liquid stocks. I would encourage you to do a similar thing. Once I see the opportunities, I log them, and then my system notifies me via text or email of the opportunity or the opportunities. Now, as the investment opportunities mature, I update my log with the result, and my solution keeps track of the history of the stock opportunity. So, for example, if it is on any given stock, stock A, let's say, over time, I will be able to look back, or I can look back and see what has been the track record over time for the investment opportunities on any given stock. And in the future, what that does is it allows me, as I'm making future decisions on investment, then of course I can take into consideration what the result has been for that given stock. So for me, stock investment time frames, as I said, maybe as short as a day, but more generally they're 1 to 3 weeks in length. And depending on the stock, if it's having a big run, that can of course translate into several months as well. Now, some like to invest for longer periods of time. In my own investing and trading, the buy and hold strategy has a lot of challenges with it. But there are, of course, challenges for shorter periods of time as well. Every time we enter the market, it introduces risk. If we trade on shorter time frames, it can produce more rewards, but it also has some more work and some risk associated with that. Now, a personal favorite strategy of mine is to let time work on my side. What I mean, and what this means is, I believe, is it's difficult enough to get direction right. And we all, of course, struggle and challenge with that. So I like to increase my probabilities permitting time decay with options on stocks to work in my favor. Now, this gives some leeway for establishing direction. However, it also means the option market needs to have sufficient volatility and premiums. And as we know, over recent months, there's not been much premiums by way of options to help us with that. So first and foremost, figure out the time frame you're going to invest and trade, and then figure out the strategy for that investment. Meaning, are you going to buy the stock? Are you going to use options? In what situations will you use certain investment or trading strategies? Now, while trading, using time decay is a personal favorite, I have developed algorithms for identifying directional opportunities on stocks that appeal to certain time frames. Now, for many years, I traded stocks non-directionally, selling iron condors and other such strategies, but the premiums are so narrow recently, as I'd mentioned, and the margin requirements are so high that I developed the algorithms using multiple characteristics in the market to help determine high probability opportunities on stocks. And there's so many factors to consider that using the computer to help me and software to help me narrow down and whittle down those high probability situations became the right answer. So to answer my own question regarding using options, I trade options with my algorithms. So I use the algorithms that I developed. In some cases, I use spreads. In other cases, I trade the naked options as well. But the probabilities for any given trading opportunity is improved by understanding the culmination of multiple factors. And of course, you have to ask yourself, what factors are important to you? So when it comes to time frames for swing trading, I use daily, weekly, and monthly time frames, but the time frames themselves aren't sufficient. Other factors need to include things like what are related markets doing for this given stock? What's the index on which this stock is being tracked? What is it doing? What's the current market structure that's taking place? And of course, potential economic reports and earnings reports are, of course, other factors as well. So there are many factors that we have to look at when making a decision. Is this a high probability opportunity? Having some algorithms that takes those into considerations, for me anyway, helps overcome some of the human tendencies to forget some of those key factors. And so it always helps us to have objectivity when we are making our decisions. Now, if you're not using algorithms to create a conglomerate view of the current investing opportunity, then be sure to set up your charts to permit you to see daily, weekly, and monthly views of the stock price's action. That's if you're doing swing trading, of course, on a stock. This simple step, right, of just having multiple time frames will help you establish the context to help in your decision making. It's not sufficient. It's not everything that's needed, of course, but it is a start. You begin with that, get that in place, and then in the future we'll talk about other things to add to or build on that will, of course, further benefit your trading decisions. If you'd like to learn more about these strategies, you can contact me at grant@financialinvestingsecrets.com. Thanks for joining. Until next time, trade with your brain.
Thank you for joining Grant on Financial Investing Radio. Remember to subscribe and leave feedback. Don't forget to download your free roadmap to high probability financial control before you make an investment decision. Visit financialinvestingradio.com now.